mortals. I am the Ploymaker, and today I'm going to give you a cool new Redstone alternative device I've come up with. It is the calculator. Now, as you can see by the lack of bouncing text and by the lack of a moving background, I'm still in 0.7.2. There's actually a very good reason for this, and yeah, I was kind of like right outside the place there. Need to be inside. You'll spawn inside there, don't worry, I was just out there working on stuff. But anyways, just to explain why this won't work in 0.7.3. Well, it turns out in 0.7.2, which is what the game was updated when I built all of this, that once you place a few hundred signs, they turn invisible. Yeah. Like, the signs are still there and they still work like the signs should, but they've just turned invisible. Of course, you can see the more recent ones are actually visible. That's why those are visible and those are visible. And if you go in here, these signs are visible because they were recently placed. They were placed after all those signs turned invisible. And yeah, so those signs are still visible and they still work. Well, the problem with 0.7.3 is that instead of invisible signs working just like normal signs, if you try to break an invisible sign via a cactus or water, torch, sand thing that I used a lot, instead of breaking like a normal sign, it crashes the game. So I'm going to have to go around and load up all the signs everywhere to get it working for 0.7.3, so I'm going to have to do a whole lot of work for that, but right now I just want to show this off. Oh, and by the way, this one for 0.7.3 is going to be really laggy, because all the signs are going to be visible, and yeah. Oh, this is where I advertise for the people who make a map review of this. This calculator was created by ThePloymaker, that's me. If you are doing a map review, please give me some credit. Okay, ThePloymaker, you are doing a great job. You are epic. You are the best person in the world. I think that's enough credit to give myself. Alright, YouTube, ThePloyPlays, that is the channel you are watching right now. Twitter, @ThePloymaker. This took a week, working 3 hours a day. So you can imagine how ticked off I was when the 0.7.3 update rendered it useless. But anyways, let's get on to the math. So let's start off with 4. And now we're just going to have to wait a little bit. So this x plus minus, this is the plus minus sign. You see, the only real equation I've really actually seen the symbol in was in the quadratic equation. That's for that is for finding the zeros of a parabola, basically. But anyways, we are going to add, I guess. Yeah, we'll add. Adding's cool. I'll show you subtracting and how actually I've got negative numbers to work in subtracting. So if you have like something like 5 minus 3, it'll end up being -2. Yeah. So yeah. 4 plus, what do we want to add? Oh, I also have it. Numbers greater than 10, they also work. I'll show you that now, I guess. Oh, dang it. If I can get this in. So let's see, 4 plus 8. And if you know any math at all, you'll know that is actually equal to 12. But let's say you need some confirmation. You have a calculator to do that for you. Yay! Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. 4 plus 8 equals... Now this is going to take quite a lot of delay, because I needed a lot of delay to get the actual adding machine working. I think the subtraction machine has a substantial lesser amount of delay than the adding machine, but okay. Now you can see 10. We go in there. And 12. There we go. You have your answer. 4 plus 8 equals 12. Now, as you can imagine, you can see why this took me a week. I could have easily just done something to where you could have did this, and maybe 4 little sand droplets would fall and land in a pile of 4. And I could do something dumb like that. But no, I wanted a whole good user interface, beauty stuff, hashtag YOLO. But yes. Alright, so now we can quit the title here, and we can delete that world we were just in. We can go to the next one. Oh yeah. Trust me, you'll spawn inside. I just spawn out here because that's where I was working on stuff, and then I copied the map, so that's where I'm just going to be. So yeah. So wait, that also proves that this is all the same map. I'm not just using different maps for different purposes. These are all the same maps. Alright. Okay, so let's check out the subtraction and the negative numbers. So let's do 2. I don't think it heard me right. Let's do 2. There we go, it dropped down to 2. Now, you're really going to have to wait until the number is completely selected before you move on to the next selection here. Because if you do it too quickly, you might mess it up and you might not get the correct answer. So just wait till your number completely shows up, or your sign completely shows up. Like that is not too much of a delay. Yeah. Anyways, so let's do -8. I like that. Yeah, -8. That works. Now, I'm fairly sure the subtraction has a much less substantial delay than the adding machine, because the adding machine was really complicated actually. The subtraction machine was fairly easy. So 2 minus 8 equals... Still gotta wait a little bit. I didn't say there was no delay. I said there was probably a substantial less amount of delay. Anyway, let's see. Negative 6. And 2 minus 8 equals -6. I'm pretty sure I have the 6 backwards for... But you know what? I think it's good. You can tell that's a 6. I don't care. 2 minus 8 equals -6, and that is correct. But yeah, that's alright. Okay, so we're just going to quit the title here. I'm going to delete this one. And of course, I guess in this one I'll kind of try to give you a quick walkthrough on how it works. Let's see. If you know about logic gates, what this basically is, not this part extruding out from it. This part is something different. But what this basically is, this whole big thing right here, is basically an OR gate with 10 different inputs, because it's like 0 through 9, and if you consider 0 one of the inputs, then it's 0 through 9 is actually 10 numbers, because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's 10. People are probably going, how is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Well, 0 itself, in this case, is an input, so yeah. So, there's 10 inputs. Forget which one's which. But anyway, depending on which one it gets, no matter what number is selected, there's water going to be flowing down here. Like, each one of these sands here will fall depending on which number is pushed. Like, let's say this sand is 1, this sand is 2, this sand is 3, this sand is 4. So basically the sand will fall depending on the number you choose, but all of it will go the same way. Now what makes it different, however, is each number has its own sand block floating up here. 9 doesn't actually have one, because we want the water to flow all the way to the end if it's 9. But for 8, it has this block. So for the number 8, this block is going to fall down here. You can see this is where the water is going to flow down out of this ore gate, and it is going to destroy these torches which are holding the not cactuses, the sand up. Now each one falls down since it destroys each one here. Like, let's say you have 8 selected, so this sand is going to fall right down here, and it is going to destroy all the, and it is going to let out all these inputs except for the last one, because the number 8 sand is blocking it. So all these inputs are going to fall, and they actually have signs, like this one has a sign that's holding up the first 0 over here. So if that's destroyed, this sand and gravel will fall to this level, and there it will reveal the 0. It's complicated. I'm having a hard time explaining this, but I know how it works. Yeah. Anyways, this is basically my... Wait. Well, this just kind of this kind of half, this top half, if you cut it off right here, this top half sends the data into the adding machine, which is over here. This is the adding machine. This whole big thing is for the adding machine. And if you look at this, you might find it familiar, because it looks like the same thing as over here. And that's because it is. It's another input system for the other keyboard that's in there. And basically what the plus or minus signs do is kind of tell whether this sand here, which is decided by that over there, like this sand here, the amount of sand that is going to let fall in there is decided by the amount you put in there. And basically what the plus or minus signs do is to decide whether this sand should drop down here and not go down here, because this sand is being held up by the minus sign. So if you were to select the minus sign, the sand would actually fall, and all that sand up there would fall into the subtraction machine. However, if you did not select the minus sign, you selected the addition sign, the sand will fall here, and it will go into the addition machine over here. Yep. So basically this is the addition machine. I don't really think I can explain how it works. Trust me, I know how it works, it's just hard to explain. Basically what it does is, since I had to have it added together, this is basically the output of the second number. And there's actually another subtraction machine down here. This is complicated. Basically, this subtraction machine takes these 10 sand blocks, and this subtraction machine will subtract them into the number that you had over here. So it will subtract from 10 the number you had over here. Well, subtract from 9 technically. I have to include 0 as a digit. But anyway, this is for 0. So basically, if my input was 0, if my input was 0 over here, all 9 of these blocks would fall, and the only last block for the adding machine, the only last block in the adding machine, it would only be able to reach up and destroy this cactus, and this cactus represents 0. This represents 0, it will go over here, I believe it falls down here to destroy this cactus, and this cactus is actually holding up the first 0 sign in the answering machine. In the answer, I want a fancy name for it. The answer monitor. I'll call it the monitor. There we go. But anyways, it's kind of... I don't really know if you're getting anything out of this. It is just difficult to explain. I mean, it took hours of thinking to come up with this stuff. But basically, I'll show you. Let's say I selected 8 here. Now, I'm going to try to rush out. Now, what happens is you can see the water is finally flowing, and it's destroying all of these cactuses. Except for this one. It's destroying all this. Yeah. Except for that one, because this sand block, which was represented by the number 8, because we had the number 8, is doing that. As you can see, all the sand with the ladders on them fell until the last one, because that was 8, and that's kind of how the user interface system works for the numbers. Very complicated stuff. And then the addition and subtraction, I believe that those are these 2 cactuses right here. So, I don't know if you're getting anything out of this. But, it does work. Not in the 0.3 update, though. I'm going to have to fix it for the 0.3 update. Be expecting that anytime soon. However, if you are jailbroken and you are able to get back 0.7.2, or you have not updated to 0.7.3 yet, go ahead and check the map out. Because it's pretty epic. I worked really hard on it. But yeah. Since we already have an equation going here, might as well finish it up. Add. Let's add 5. So yeah. Oh yeah, this is the pedestal of math. This is where the ancient Mayans would go. The ancient Mayan children would go to sacrifice virgins to the math god, so they wouldn't fail their math tests. But yeah, that's basically it. Basically, 8 plus 5 equals, and as you can see, if you can do basic math, you know that's 13. But let's see if the calculator can get it. Okay, it's 0. It will get stuck at 0 for a little bit until the 1 comes up. The 10. And 13. So yeah, the calculator actually works, just not in 0.7.3 yet. I'm getting to work on that. But yeah, it's great. So if you like this and you want more, or you just want a calculator working in 0.7.3, you better subscribe, because that's a whole lot of hard work I'm going to have to do, and I don't know if I'm going to do it. If it's just, like 23 people over there. If it's just for like 23 people. But yeah. So please subscribe. That would be amazing. Leave a like. Do any of that you can do to support me. That might uplift my day. It might get maps out sooner. So yeah. Anyways, bye guys. Thanks for watching.